Siamo lieti di dare il benvenuto al nuovo allenatore.
Hey guys, welcome back. Well, not quite welcome back, isn't it? I mean, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the FIFA 23 Korea mode right here. I'm so excited to tell you guys that I will be doing a new project right now. It's called Parma Korea mode. It's a road to glory Korea mode, as you guys know, or as you guys can see. And also, it is a kind of a club and country, that type of video as well, which means that, again, Parma, it's an Italian club. But of course, with the whole purpose of club and country, the whole squad has to be Italian. I mean, it sounds quite wrong in a way, but I mean, this is something that I've been wanting to do for the past few years. I mean, I did quite a lot of Road to Glory, Korean mode, but at the same time, I actually do want to try something a little bit different on top of Road to Glory, which is the fact that, trying to have a team full of Italians. That's all I want to do. And of course, the whole selection process was quite complicated. Do a little bit of research to it. Again, I pretty much go to Wikipedia, looking at the Serie B league, and pretty much picked out a team has the most non-Italian players in there. I was thinking about doing Como at one point, which is Cesc Fabregas' team before he retired, but at the same time, I feel like, you know what, I'm sure there is, there's a team with the most foreign players or non-Italian players. And in the end, I found a club called Parma. Sounds very familiar at one point, and turns out when I was looking at the squad, Buffon, of course, the legendary Italian goalkeeper, of course, the veteran 44-year-old, plays for Parma. Again, this guy is still young. The fact that he's 78 rated as a 44-year-old shows, he still has it in his game. And you know what? He will be the captain. I'm not going to looking to sell him. Of course, first of all, he is Italian. Second of all, he is pretty much the legend of the game. Of course, I will still be using him until, if he decides to hang out his boots. So again, this is a tough squad. I mean, the fact that there are at least 16 different foreign players in there, and it is going to be a big reconstruction of the squad. Of course, the fact that 16 players has to be replaced with, somebody Italian as well. Of course, I'm looking to sell the majority of them. And at the same time, we only have roughly around 14 to 15 million to work with the budget. Again, not a lot, but certainly enough to actually trying to make a squad out of those projects or out of those budget. But the first thing I turn to with those money is pretty much going to the youth academy. It's trying to sign a youth scout, which also specialize in scouting Italian players. Of course, we had it. Of course, we already had a Italian scout, but of course the overall rating of that scout is relatively quite low. So I decided to spend a little bit more and actually try to sign a 4 to 5 star an Italian scout. Hopefully that will solve some of our issues, and like that we did. 14 million at one point, actually 12 million after signing that scout. Again, we didn't receive a good report, unfortunately. Of course, what I'm trying to do with the youth academy, I'm trying to integrate more. I'm trying to sign more players directly from the youth academy to the first team. Hopefully we're going to sign a lot of jams. That's what I hope for. And more importantly, selling a lot of players. Again, those players, I'm not going to name all of them because there's certainly a lot of them. And I don't know anybody in the squad except Buffon. So be patient, of course. At the same time, with the pronunciation of the players, hopefully I'm not going to butcher any of the names compared to the last one. I did the Spanish Road to Glory, Korea mode, Juanabrada, I believe that was the name of it. So again, I'm signing all Italian players. I'm sure I am more familiar with some of the Italian pronunciation. Hopefully I'm not going to butcher any of the names at all in future references or future videos. But where was I talking about? Oh, yep. So after 16 players has to be transfer listed. I mean, there's no way. I will be selling some Italian players as well if I can somehow get a good fee out of them. And at one point, we sold 2 to 3 players in general. And 2 to 3 players in general, and we have level or increased the transfer budget to 22 million. Again, still quite a lot of work with. But the most important thing is, it's that despite having quite a lot of outgoings in the squad, we need incomings. But at the moment, we only have 22 million to spend. Not much, but we need to pretty much use that 22 million to replace players, and it's going to be tough because. Eventually 16 players out and 16 players in to replace them, or maybe a little bit less than that. But the fact that, turning into the transfer list, transfer hub, I think that is going to be very important because, again, trying to sign some good young gems already existed in the game or, real life players. But at the same time, the fact that we have such a small budget to work with, to sign 16 players is always tough. And that's why pretty much I transfer listed, any players who's like, 71, 72 rated players, even though they don't really have much room to grow. But this guy right here, Bodanci, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Bodanci. This guy, it's pretty much the only player. I think one of the only players in the squad with the, showing great potential tag on him. 73 rated, I believe he's 18-year-old. Still a lot of room more to grow. Again, the formation that we play is completely different. Again, we're not playing 5 at the back. We're playing some wingers in this team, playing some wide midfielders, which is something that I've been long waiting for. Finally, a 4-2-3-1 formation. That is what we're going for. Again, a very traditional, conventional formation right now. But of course, we signed quite a lot of players. I'm not gonna name all of them. Again, it's gonna take me a long time to. Plus, I might butcher some of the pronunciation. Of course, we signed Barra, one of the left-footed, left center back player. And at the same time, I don't know any noticeable. Baselli, I think one of the players I signed as a midfielder as well. And again, a lot of outgoings in terms of the midfield area, so we got to replenish the midfields with Italian players. Again, the only players that we can scout, that much, that many was pretty much in the bracket of, enter into their prime players or players that just barely past their prime. We're signing Adjabon, I think that's how I pronounce his name. Again, right back, 72 rated, 74 rated? No, 24-year-old, 72 rated. Again, these players that I signed, I don't know any of them personally, so it's going to be a little bit, tough for me to analyze them, but again, we can only analyze them once they start playing the game. And at one point in this career mode, I feel like, why am I trying to actively sell some of the players when we can use them as an asset? We can use them as part of the deal to sign players to kind of free it up or to kind of, try to cause less hassle in the budget in general. So I started doing that actually, and I think after quite a lot of transaction, we actually signed, we only spent 6 million so far. We still have 16 more million to work with. And finally, receiving the first report right here again. None of them looks, extraordinary. Okay, we got these 3 players again. They're all left back, right back, which is fine. We have quite a lot of players playing in those areas, but of course, hopefully we want to have amazing jam, amazing midfielder, amazing striker, even amazing wide midfielder at the moment. That's what I'm looking for. Again, right now we're turning into Matteo Bianchetti right here. Again, trying to offer them players, but sometimes when they don't want to take the players, you gotta give them cash. And just like that, I don't know how many signings we have made so far. 5th, 6th signings, I'm not quite sure. Right now, turning to another central attacking midfielder, Antonucci, right here, 2 million for him. Again, this is the only deal that we can do. 2 million from 24-year-old, 67 rated. Of course, still have quite a bit of room to grow. I'm not expecting him to grow, amazingly or exponentially, which is fine. Turk, it's a goalkeeper. Again, been looking to sell him for quite a while in this transfer window. Finally receiving an offer from him for around 1.5 million. Two more players are sold. Turk was gone and Koulibaly has gone as well. Again, you don't need to know too much in depth of these players. And right now, I realize we have been focusing on center back area. I was kind of neglecting the wide midfielders area, and I couldn't really find any good or relatively decent wide midfielders. So I decided to look at look at wingers, and we signed another wingers right there. 8th signing, I don't know, you guys gotta keep track. Simone Bastoni right here. I was going to agree a deal. Again, he is I believe, left-footed center midfielder, 72 rated. Again, still have a little bit of room to grow, maybe 2 or 3 rating. Again, what we try and do in this season is to trying to get promoted. I mean, there's no relegation in this career mode because there's no Series C. I don't think if they have a thing like that or not. But right now, finally signing a striker, Buffanti right here, a young 21, 65 rated player. Again, we need more firepower up front, more quality, more young players up front, and we receive an offer for Yohan Bonnie. I've been trying to sell him throughout the whole window, trying to include him into some of the deals that we have. And at one point, I feel like some of the players I'm not going to be able to sell, so I decided to release them. And I think one of the players right there, you can see the left back, the Argentine left back, forgot his name, 35-year-old. I don't think anybody will want to sign him, so I just release him, even though it's going to cost a little bit. I'm trying to release another player. Hayinwat, I think that's how you pronounce his name. The French center back or center midfielder just couldn't really release any more players. And looking at the squad right now, looking very good right there. Of course, the numbers will be changed, but this is the guy that I want to talk about, Tommaso Bodanza. Of course, we signed him, 19-year-old center attacking midfielder. He will be the core, pretty much the core of our team at the moment, especially. We don't really quite have a young squad in general, but again, in order to survive, in order to make this career work, I just need to get rid of all the foreign players in the team. And right now, we have pretty much a full squad of Italians, and we'll be playing the first game. Again, the format of this career mode, it's that hopefully I want to include more games into the career mode. Again, I don't know how many episodes that I will be doing for this series, but hopefully enough to the point where I'm able to, finish the series before EAFC, before EAFC release, which I'm sure is gonna be released in late September. But again, this is pretty much the final, FIFA career mode. You got FIFA career mode ever under the name FIFA, and of course we're gonna move on to different career mode in the future. I believe they call it managing or manager career mode or something like that. I think that's what they call. But right here, first game against Venezia right here in the cup. In the cup game, Coppa di Italia, something like that. The name, that's the name. But we got our first win. Pretty late in the game again, with the same tactics every time, where you just kind of put players at the back. Or kind of, just putting one of the players at the wide side, and then from a corner kick, just dribble all the way through. And winning the first game, advancing to a different level right there. Right now, the league start right now, Serie B KT. I'm just going to call it Serie B at the moment. But right there, it's funny. I mean, we signed Buffanti very early on, but guess what? First game, within 20 minutes, broke his freaking toe one more time. I'm sure this game just loved to curse us just as the season start. It happens to me quite a few times in some of the career mode, especially in Brighton career mode. At one point, I signed Vavi Vieira. Within 2 months, he broke his toe. Classic FIFA, per se. And Bonnie left the club, and of course, Buffanti unfortunately picked up an injury, which pretty much we didn't sign anybody at the moment. But the first game right here against Bari, for the first game in the Serie B, it is going to be an interesting game, interesting season for sure. I mean, the fact that the way how we changed the team, completely evolutionalized the team, is going to be very interesting to be played at. And of course, I didn't quite record that part of the gameplay where you get to design, you get to customize your stadium. You gotta customize, the grass pattern, the stands color, the color, like, just the net, different types of nets. And right here, the first game right here, Bianchetti, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, scored the first goal right there for us ever in the league. And 21st minutes in, here comes Padense on the left-hand side, again, looking very lively. And at the same time, you guys will probably realize I did change the camera angle, just freshen it up a little bit. I don't want to use the old EA Sports camera angle. Instead, using the default one, loving it. Actually makes the gameplay a little much faster. Second player who scored in that game is Inglise. Again, I was striker, 70 rated. I believe he is 30-year-old, 31-year-old. Again, an experienced player. But if we can somehow, look for other players, of course, we will do that. But right there, despite conceding that goal, we still somehow win that game. 2-1 was the final score, securing our first league win ever as a manager. And, of course, winning 2 games, back-to-back games. Again, it's a great way to start. And right here, we receive another offer for our Greek left back. I'm not going to butcher his name. I don't want to butcher his name at all. But, again, I feel like I've been going to the cutscene a lot. So I've decided to pretty much do the delegation in terms of the deal. Hopefully it will make the process a little bit faster. But the next episode, again, we'll be focusing on the transfer deadline day. And that's pretty much it for the first episode. Hope you guys enjoy. I mean, I certainly do enjoy the process so far. I mean, winning back-to-back games, I mean, definitely one of the best feelings ever. Starting new career mode, doing all those signings, because the fact that the off season, the whole thing about signing players or selling players, that took me 2 hours in general just to get it clear, just to set up a good team, and finally winning 2 games, back-to-back games. Feel very fulfilled. Just fulfill all my happiness right there. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in a bit.